She woke to the sound of metal, sharp, grinding near her ear. Not a dream. Maya's arms were tied, tight. Plastic zip ties dug into her wrists. A single bulb flickered above, cold light cutting across cracked cement walls. The air smelled like mildew, iron, and fear. She wasn't in her apartment. She wasn't even in a house. Her mouth opened to scream, but a rag was stuffed in it, soaked, bitter, chemical. She gagged. What was the last thing she remembered? Dinner with Jay, wine, laughter. That story he told about missing his passport before their Bali trip. Then, a weird taste, a fog in her brain. His eyes, cold. This isn't happening. She pulled her knees toward her chest, but her ankles were bound too. She looked around, a steel door, no windows, a single camera in the corner, watching. She was underground, a basement, warehouse. She wasn't alone. In the corner, another girl sat slumped over, bruised, bleeding, unmoving. Her hair clung to her cheeks. Maya wanted to call out but couldn't. Tears burned her eyes. Her heart thudded so loud it filled the room. This wasn't random. This was personal. 6 hours earlier, Jay had made her favorite, lemon risotto. The table was set. Candles, music, a soft night breeze. He poured the wine and smiled. To us, Maya had smiled back, despite the doubt scratching at her ribs. Something had been off for weeks. He'd been disappearing for hours. Whispering, calls, sudden work trips, excuses that didn't feel real. But tonight, he was charming, present, just like the man she'd fallen for until that last sip of wine. Then everything went black. Now, her wrists were raw. Her lips trembled. She thought of her mom, of the little tattoo she got on her 18th birthday. You are enough. Why was Jay doing this? Who was he? The girl in the corner stirred. Maya froze. Slowly, painfully, the girl raised her head. Her left eye was swollen shut, but she mouthed something. He's watching. Maya glanced at the camera. A red light blinked. Suddenly, a loud beep filled the room. A speaker crackled to life. Jay's voice, cold, unfamiliar, filled the space. Good morning, Maya. Welcome to the truth. She flinched. He continued. You always said you wanted to know everything about me. Well, now you will, one piece at a time. The speaker went silent, a mechanical whirring sound. The steel door slid open. Footsteps, Maya braced. A man stepped in, not Jay. Older, tall, tattoo of a raven on his neck, gloves, calm eyes. He crouched in front of her and cut the gag. You, scream. She dies, he whispered, nodding toward the girl. Maya stayed silent. He unlocked her ankles, dragged her up, and shoved her out the door. The corridor was narrow, concrete, dimly lit by naked bulbs. She saw more doors. Some had numbers, some had stains. He led her into a room that looked like a living room, staged. A couch, a lamp, a glass of water, and Jay, in jeans, smiling like they were on vacation. Maya, he said gently, sit down. She didn't. What is this? Her voice cracked. Where the hell am I? He stood, walked toward her. I need you to see something, then I'll explain. He picked up a remote and turned on the TV mounted on the wall. A video played. Maya's apartment, her bedroom, Jay standing over her, watching her sleep. Night after night, footage after footage, weeks of it. She backed away. I never hurt you, he said, but I watched, I studied because I knew what? She spat, that you were lying. What? Jay stepped closer. You never told me about your father, the real reason you changed your name, the debt, the blackmail, the stolen files. She froze. How did he know? She'd buried that life long ago, years of therapy, witness protection, a new identity. You're not the victim here, Jay said, eyes narrowing. You're the key to all of this. Maya's legs gave out. She sat. Jay knelt beside her. That girl in the cell, she's like you. They found her too. She was running. From who? Maya whispered. He smiled. From us. Flashback. 3 years ago, Maya worked in corporate fraud analysis. Her boss, Marcus Velin, was laundering millions through shell charities. She reported it. The next day, her apartment caught fire. Her dog died, she disappeared, entered witness protection, became Maya Lane. Now, Jay tossed a file on the table. Marcus wants you back, but not alive. I'm the only reason you're breathing. She opened the file with trembling hands. Photos, surveillance, emails, her mom, her sister's school, all tracked, her breath caught. Her world tilted. So what now? She asked. You tell me everything, or they die. Maya looked up. And if I do, you go free. She didn't believe him. That night, Maya was returned to the concrete room. The other girl looked at her, silent. Maya whispered, "What's your name?" "Leah," she croaked. "They lied to me too. They said if I told the truth, I'd go free." Leah's eyes were full of sorrow. "They told me that a year ago." Maya's heart sank. Footsteps approached. The steel door creaked. This time, 2 men entered. Leah screamed. They dragged her out. Maya tried to fight. "Leave her alone," a voice from the speaker cut through. "Next time, it'll be you." Then silence. That night, Maya didn't sleep. She didn't cry. She planned. She stared at the ceiling, counting seconds between camera movements. She listened to footsteps, doors, routines. She hadn't survived hell before just to die here. They thought she was broken. They had no idea. Maya didn't sleep. She counted exactly 6 footsteps from the steel door to the hallway turn. 12 seconds between each camera swivel. 3 clicks every time the intercom system reset. Whoever had designed this place assumed fear would paralyze her. They underestimated her. At 4:03 a.m., the bulb above her flickered 3 times. Routine. At 4:06, the speaker crackled. "Maya, are you awake?" Jay's voice again. Smooth, calm, crocodile-like. She didn't answer. "I know you think you can outsmart us, but Leah tried that too." The camera whirred. "I suggest you get comfortable. You'll be here for a while." Silence. Maya sat up. Her wrists still stung from the zip ties, but she'd managed to use the edge of the metal drain on the floor to nick one tie open the previous night. They hadn't noticed. Yet, a mistake. By morning, they brought her stale toast, a bruised apple, and a small bottle of water. A new man she hadn't seen before set the tray down. His hands were shaking. Maya caught his eye, just for a moment. Not a monster, not like Jay. A crack in the system. She didn't speak. Neither did he. But she saw it, guilt. And guilt is leverage. Later that day, Jay returned, this time in a dark blue suit, clipboard in hand like a professor conducting a lecture. "We're going to begin now," he said, sitting across from her in the fake living room again. "We're going to talk about Marcus Velin's internal server. You accessed it, don't deny it." Maya stared blankly at him. "You downloaded something, a folder. What was in it?" She didn't flinch. "Pictures of your mother." Jay's eye twitched. It worked. She smirked. "You've got the power, right? You drugged me, chained me, lied to me for months, but you still need something. Otherwise, I'd be dead already." Jay stood, face suddenly pale. His mask cracked. Just for a second, he stormed out. Progress. That night, she saw Leah again, not in person, on the screen. The camera feed glitched once, and for a brief second, another room appeared. A girl hunched in a chair, bloody, breathing. Room 9, Maya burned the number into her memory. The next morning, the same guard, the one with the shaking hands, returned. His name tag read, Seth. She made a decision. "Do you have a sister?" she whispered. He froze. "My little sister loved jelly beans. I used to braid her hair every day before school." Seth didn't reply, but his breathing quickened. "She died in a fire," Maya said softly. "She was 10. I wasn't there. I failed her." He looked at her, heart hammering in his throat. "I'm not asking you to be a hero," Maya continued. "I'm asking you to help me find a girl who's Going to die in room 9? Seth blinked rapidly. He set the tray down and left. But the next night, her cell door opened. No footsteps, no voice, just air. A post-it note lay in the hallway. Camera offline. 4 minutes. Go. Room 9. Maya didn't hesitate. She bolted barefoot across the concrete. All heart pounding so loud, she feared it would give her away. Room 9 was 7 doors down. The keypad blinked red. She tried random numbers. Nothing. Then she saw it. A small sticker near the side. R.I.P. Jenny 729. She punched in 7299. It clicked open. Leah was unconscious. Maya rushed to her. Her face was swollen, lips split, eye purple-black. But she was alive. She shook her gently. Leah, it's Maya. We're getting out. Leah stirred, moaned. They said they killed you. Not yet, Maya whispered. She lifted Leah's arm over her shoulder and stood, dragging her slowly into the hall. Seth was waiting. Without a word, he opened a hatch in the wall Maya hadn't noticed before. A laundry chute, industrial size. She'll fit, he said quickly. There's a service tunnel below. I'll trigger a backup generator in 10 minutes. That's your window. Maya shook her head. I'm not leaving without you. You don't get it, Seth said, panic in his eyes. I'm not here because I want to be. I owe them. I did things. You can still make it right. He stared at her, then nodded once. Leah disappeared into the chute. 10 minutes later, the lights flickered, then cut completely. Alarms screamed. Red lights blinked. Chaos exploded. Doors slammed open. Screams echoed. Maya ran. Jay's voice blared. Through the speakers, she's loose. Block the east tunnel. Room 9 compromised. She reached the chute, slipped in, tumbled down into the dark. Twisted metal, dust, the stench of rust and oil. But freedom. She crawled through the tunnel, found Leah curled behind a generator. They didn't speak. They moved together. 36 hours later, they were safe in a motel 2 states over. Leah asleep. Maya bruised, exhausted, wide awake. She stared at the ceiling, counting seconds between camera movements. She listened to footsteps, doors, routines. She hadn't survived hell before, just to die here. They thought she was broken. They had no idea. Maya didn't sleep. She counted exactly 6 footsteps from the steel door to the hallway turn. 12 seconds between each camera swivel. 3 clicks every time the intercom system reset. Whoever had designed this place assumed fear would paralyze her. They underestimated her. At 4:03 a.m., the bulb above her flickered 3 times. Routine. At 4:06, the speaker crackled. Maya, are you awake? Jay's voice again, smooth, calm, crocodile-like. She didn't answer. I know you think you can outsmart us, but Leah tried that too. The camera whirred. I suggest you get comfortable. You'll be here for a while. Silence. Maya sat up. Her wrists still stung from the zip ties, but she'd managed to use the edge of the metal drain on the floor to nick 1 tie open the previous night. They hadn't noticed. Yet. A mistake. By morning, they brought her stale toast, a bruised apple, and a small bottle of water. A new man she hadn't seen before set the tray down. His hands were shaking. Maya caught his eye, just for a moment. Not a monster, not like Jay. A crack in the system. She didn't speak. Neither did he. But she saw it guilt, and guilt is leverage. Later that day, Jay returned, this time in a dark blue suit, clipboard in hand like a professor conducting a lecture. We're going to begin now, he said, sitting across from her in the fake living room again. We're going to talk about Marcus Vellin's internal server. You accessed it, don't deny it. Maya stared blankly at him. You downloaded something, a folder. What was in it? She didn't flinch. Pictures of your mother. Jay's eye twitched. It worked, she smirked. You've got the power, right? You drugged me, chained me, lied to me for months, but you still need something. Otherwise, I'd be dead already. Jay stood, face suddenly pale. His mask cracked just for a second. He stormed out. Progress. That night, she saw Leah again, not in person, on the screen. The camera feed glitched once, and for a brief second, another room appeared. A girl hunched in a chair, bloody, breathing. Room 9. Maya burned the number into her memory. The next morning, the same guard, the one with the shaking hands, returned. His name tag read Seth. She made a decision. "Do you have a sister?" she whispered. He froze. "My little sister loved jelly beans. I used to braid her hair every day before school." Seth didn't reply, but his breathing quickened. "She died in a fire," Maya said softly. "She was 10. I wasn't there. I failed her." He looked at her, heart hammering in his throat. "I'm not asking you to be a hero," Maya continued. "I'm asking you to help me find a girl who's going to die in room 9. Seth blinked rapidly. He set the tray down and left, but the next night, her cell door opened. No footsteps, no voice, just air. A post-it note lay in the hallway. "Camera offline, 4 minutes, go, room 9. Maya didn't hesitate. She bolted barefoot across the concrete. Hall, heart pounding so loud she feared it would give her away. Room 9 was 7 doors down. The keypad blinked red. She tried random numbers. Nothing. Then she saw it, a small sticker near the side. RIP Jenny 729. She punched in 7299. It clicked open. Leah was unconscious. Maya rushed to her. Her face was swollen, lips split, eye purple-black. But she was alive. She shook her gently. "Leah, Leah, it's Maya. We're getting out." Leah stirred, moaned. They said they killed you." "Not yet," Maya whispered. She lifted Leah's arm over her shoulder and stood, dragging her slowly into the hall. Seth was waiting. Without a word, he opened a hatch in the wall Maya hadn't noticed before. A laundry chute, industrial size. "She'll fit," he said quickly. "There's a service tunnel below. I'll trigger a backup generator in 10 minutes. "That's your window," Maya shook her head. "I'm not leaving without you." "You don't get it," Seth said, panic in his eyes. "I'm not here because I want to be. I owe them. I did things. You can still make it right." He stared at her, then nodded once. Leah disappeared into the chute. 10 minutes later, the lights flickered, then cut completely. Alarms screamed, red lights blinked. Chaos exploded, doors slammed open, screams echoed. Maya ran. Jay's voice blared. Through the speakers, "She's loose. Block the east tunnel. Room 9 compromised." She reached the chute, slipped in, tumbled down into the dark, twisted metal, dust, the stench of rust and oil, but freedom. She crawled through the tunnel, found Leah curled behind a generator. They didn't speak. They moved. Together. 36 hours later, they were safe, in a motel 2 states over. Leah asleep. Maya bruised, exhausted, wide awake. She stared at the ceiling. What now? Jay would never stop. Neither would Marcus. She was still hunted, still exposed, but she wasn't helpless anymore. She opened her laptop, burned through 2 VPNs, reached the darknet Dropbox she hadn't accessed in years, the one labeled Velin Master File, Insurance. She clicked. A list of names, transactions, bribes, and recordings, including one file titled J14 Acquisition. Protocol, Maya. Her blood ran cold. She hit play, Jay's voice smooth and emotionless. "She's perfect. Scarred, isolated, no family nearby. I'll stage the meeting at the gallery in May. Shouldn't take more than 6 weeks to earn full trust. She thinks she's falling in love. By summer, she'll lead us to the drive." She closed the laptop. The next day, she checked Leah's pulse, stable, healing, alive. Maya opened a notebook and began to write names. Jay, Marcus, Seth, others from the file, not for revenge, for justice. But one word lingered on her mind, like poison. Acquisition. How many? More had there been. How many more were still out there? Maya knew what she had to do. Maya hadn't slept for 2 days. She couldn't. Not with the file open on her screen, not with the voices looping in her head. She thinks she's falling in love. Jay's voice haunted her. Calm, rehearsed, Surgical, he'd chosen her, tracked her, built a fake world just to tear it apart. And now that she was out, he would do it again. But Maya had something he didn't expect. Names, dates, evidence, and a rage that had finally found direction. Day 7 in hiding. Leah's bruises had started to fade, but the trauma hadn't. Sometimes Maya would catch her flinching at soft noises, or whispering to herself, or tapping her fingernails on the bed in perfect intervals. 12 taps, pause. 12 taps, pause. Maya asked her about it once. "It was how I counted time in there," Leah said quietly. "It kept, Miss Anne." The way she said "in there" sent chills through Maya's spine. "I'm going to take them down," Maya told her. "You can't," Leah said. "They own people, judges, detectives. Some of the girls who disappeared, they had their own. Parents signed them away. Then I'll burn the whole system. Step 1, find the others." Maya filtered the file by acquisition year. 2019, 2020, 2021. Each line had initials, a photo ID, and a cryptic status field. Unstable, archived, sold, expired. Some were labeled ESC, escaped. One name stood out, ML, ESC, New Jersey, 2018, a survivor. Just like her, and still alive. She found her through an encrypted whistleblower forum under the alias Ashflood. Maya posted a coded message, "From one candle to another, I saw the smoke. Are you still burning?" Within hours, she got a reply. "Meet where the air doesn't move, midnight, no names." Leah begged her not to go alone, but Maya knew this was her only shot at understanding how deep the darkness went. The meeting place, an abandoned air filtration plant just outside Newark. Cold, silent, forgotten. Maya stepped inside and waited. Under a broken ventilation shaft, at 12:01 a.m., a hooded figure emerged, slender, tense, eyes like steel. "You were in the program?" she asked without greeting. Maya nodded. "J. Velin, Acquisition Protocol." The girl looked away. "I was ML," she said. "They called me Model 14. I was their prototype for emotional fracture testing. I didn't escape. They let me walk after I failed the obedience triggers." Maya swallowed. "Failed? I bit the handler's ear off during a simulation. They dumped me on a freeway. Figured I'd kill myself or disappear." Maya stared. "But you didn't." "No. I collected data. I've been building something." She pulled out a flash drive. "This contains every handler location I've tracked. 57 known, 12 active, 4 I can reach." Maya stepped back. "How do I know you're not one of them?" ML smiled bitterly. "You don't, but they'll find you soon. If you want to die hiding, run. If you want to fight, plug it in." Back at the motel, Leah was pacing. She nearly screamed when Maya returned. "Where were you? You said an hour. I found someone. She has a map, a real one. They've got over 50 active sites." Leah's face crumpled. "We're not soldiers." "Maya, we barely made it out alive. I'm not asking you to fight. Maya paused. "I have to stop them." Silence. Then Leah walked to the window. "They took everything from me," she said. "If we're doing this, then I want to find the woman who signed my intake papers. My aunt. She told them where I was after my mom died." Maya looked at her, and for the first time, they were no longer victims. That night, Maya and Leah began their mission. Using ML's drive, they pinpointed a site just 3 towns away. Facility 12, Acquisition Processing, Wilbur Creek, PA. It looked like a regular rehab center. Clean, white walls, high fences. But inside, each intake form matched the ones from Maya's file, and one handler on staff stood out, Seth. Her stomach twisted. She didn't know if he'd been relocated or promoted, but she knew one thing: he hadn't escaped. Maya planned the infiltration. Like a chess game, Leah would stay outside, in a car they borrowed under fake plates. Maya would pose as a new volunteer. She forged a badge using images from a university outreach program. She'd asked to shadow intake interviews. Quiet, curious, unassuming. The first 3 hours went smoothly. Smiles, clipboards, no questions. Then she saw him, Seth. He looked different, neater, colder, wearing scrubs now. No guilt in his eyes this time. Maya's throat clenched. She watched him lead a girl, barely 17, into a back room labeled Processing 3A. Maya followed silently. When he left the room to grab forms, she slipped in. "Hey," she whispered. "What's your name?" The girl looked up, eyes glassy. "Drugged, Haley. Haley, listen to me. You're not crazy. You're not sick. This isn't a rehab center." Haley blinked, confused. Maya leaned in. "They're trying to make you disappear. I can get you out." Suddenly, the door opened. Seth, for a second, their eyes locked. Recognition, shock, then betrayal. "You shouldn't be here," he hissed. Maya shoved him hard and ran. Sirens blared. Emergency lights spun. The building went into lockdown. Leah's voice echoed in her earpiece. "Maya, what happened? The gates are closing. I've got a girl with me. Meet me on the west side." 10 seconds. She dragged Haley down the side hall, through an emergency door, and bolted toward the gate. It was closing. Leah gunned. The engine screeched forward, and Maya dove into the back seat with Haley just as the fence slammed shut behind them. Seth stood at the edge of the property, watching, expressionless. 3 weeks later, they had 5 names, 4 rescued girls, 2 confirmed takedowns. ML disappeared after leaking the full handler list online. A rumor swirled that she'd been caught, or maybe she'd gone deeper underground. Maya didn't know, but she knew this. It wasn't over. Jay still hadn't resurfaced. Marcus Vellin hadn't fallen. And somewhere out there, more girls like Haley were waiting. Leah was stronger now, quieter, but sharper. Focused. Sometimes they'd sit in silence and go through the list, name by name, face by face. One night, Leah looked up and said something Maya would never forget. "You know what they didn't plan for? That we'd find each other." Maya receives an encrypted message on her secure line. No sender, only 2 words. Jay, alive, and an address in Montreal. Maya's hands shake. She looks at Leah and says quietly, "We finish this now." Maya stood at the edge of the hotel balcony, staring out at the cold glow of Montreal. The wind had teeth, sharp, quiet, whispering things she didn't want to hear. Jay was alive, and he was close. The encrypted message hadn't said much, just an address, a time, and the 2 words that unraveled her. Jay, alive. He was supposed to be gone, missing, maybe even dead, but now he was waiting for her. 2 days earlier, they'd burned through 3 burner phones, 2 license plates, and every dollar Maya had left from her freelance gigs. Leah had pawned her grandmother's locket just to fill the tank. They were bleeding emotionally and physically, but they were also closer than they had ever been to ending it. Still, something gnawed at Maya. Why now? Why resurface? Maybe he knows we're getting too close, Leah had said, staring into the darkness from the back seat. Maybe he wants to finish what he started. No, Maya whispered. Jay doesn't just kill, he erases. This feels like a show. Montreal, March 3rd, 9:30 p.m. They pulled up to the location in the message. An old medical building, abandoned, 7 stories, windows like blind eyes, the kind of place you don't just stumble into. Leah stayed behind in the car, clutching a stun gun and a stolen security radio. Maya went in alone. The building creaked with every step. The elevator was dead, so she climbed. Floor by floor, heart pounding, 7th floor, room 714, a single door, unlocked. Inside, the lights flickered to life, and there he was. Jay, clean-shaven, calm, wearing the same grey coat he wore the day she met him at the cafe. Same smile, like time had never touched him. "Maya," he said, as if greeting an old friend. "You're early." She didn't speak. "You found the files, the handlers. ML, I always knew you were different. You drugged me," she spat. "You lied about everything." Jay tilted his head. No, Maya. I showed you who you really are. He pulled a tablet from his bag and slid it across the table. Before you turn me in, maybe you should understand what you are. The file opened. Subject 18. Maya R. Laskin. Date of intake. June. Vierteen 2018. Purpose Induced Resilience Study. Status. Primary asset. Maya felt the air leave her lungs. She wasn't just a victim, she was part of the experiment, Jay continued, his voice low. You think I chose you because you were vulnerable? No. You were chosen because you're the only one who didn't break. Maya's mind reeled. You staged everything, she whispered. My job loss, the fake therapy referral, the car crash I was in. All by design, Jay said. We needed to see if trauma builds resistance or ruins it. You proved something no subject ever had before. You're insane. No, he said. I'm a scientist. Just then, a soft static buzz in Maya's earpiece, Leah's voice. Maya, 2 black SUVs just pulled up. Men in suits. Get out now. Jay heard it too. He smiled. They're not here for me, he said. They're here for you. What? You leaked classified data. You compromised years of black budget research. You think the people funding this want you alive? He stepped toward the window. You and I, we're the same now. Disposables. Dangerous. Maya turned and bolted from the room. Down the stairs, 4 steps at a time. Her knees buckled, but she didn't stop. Outside, Leah was already driving toward her, passenger door open. Maya dove in. Shots rang out behind them. The side mirror shattered. They drove into the Montreal night, hearts thundering, tires screeching. What did he say? Leah screamed. Maya stared straight ahead. He said I was part of it, from the beginning. Later, in hiding, Leah finally spoke. I looked you up. I mean, before, when we first met. Maya's breath caught. You were adopted at age 5, Leah said. No record of your parents, no birth certificate on public record, just a number, 473A, on your intake form. What are you saying? I think you were raised in it, Maya. You didn't join the program, you came from it. Silence. Then Maya whispered, I think I always knew something was wrong with me. No, Leah said. You're not broken. They just made you believe you were. Next morning, they hacked into an old server ML had left access to, a ghost file. Inside, they found the real map, the original blueprints for the Induced Resilience Project, with funding traced back to private military contracts and psychological warfare branches. But the most shocking part, a subfolder labeled Ark Shelter, final phase, remote location, live subjects. Coordinates pointed to a desolate area near the Yukon border. 10 names, all girls, current active. Leah stared at the screen. They're still doing it, Maya stood up. I'm not running anymore, not from Jay, not from anyone. We ended at the Ark. Leah nodded. But if we go, she said, we don't come back. Maya took her hand. We're not supposed to survive this. But maybe. That's why we have to. The snow hit harder the farther north they drove. By the time Maya and Leah reached the last known coordinates of the Ark Shelter, the windshield was a wall of white. The GPS stopped working miles ago. They were driving blind now. The map said the shelter was buried inside a frozen forest at the edge of civilization. If they were right, it was where everything had started and where everything had to end. 10:03 p.m. Yukon border, the car skidded to a stop beneath a canopy of silent pine trees. The place felt wrong, not abandoned, just quiet in the wrong way, like a place that was waiting. Leah turned off the ignition. This is it. Maya stared into the dark woods. Feels like something's staring back. They suited up. Black jackets, thermals, gloves, flashlights taped with red filters. Military style. Quiet, focused, everything Leah had learned from her survivalist father, everything Maya had remembered from the gaps in her own memory. Together they moved through the snow. The Ark Shelter wasn't a building, it was a bunker, buried beneath the forest floor, hidden under a layer of synthetic moss and roots. Maya spotted the steel latch, nearly invisible under a sheet of packed snow. With a heave, she pulled it open. Cold air whooshed up. A stairwell dropped into darkness. Leah shined her light inside. Only one way now. They went down. The bunker smelled like dust, metal, and antiseptic. Rooms lined the hallway. Glass walls, old beds, machines with long-dead batteries. Security cameras blinked, though no red lights glowed. "This place isn't just shut down," Maya whispered. It was left behind, but there were signs of recent life. Half-empty water bottles, a jacket hung on a chair, fresh scuff marks on the tile floor. Then came the hallway with the names. A whiteboard listed 10 girls, ages 11-17, all tagged as live. Maya's eyes froze on one name, subject 03, Juna L. Status, reactive evolution, age 13, blood type, unknown resemblance, 94% DNA match, M. Leah turned to her. "Maya, she's your sister." Maya stepped back. "I don't have a sister. You didn't know you had one." A siren blared. Lights flickered. The hallway turned red. A voice crackled from the ceiling. "Unauthorized access detected. Shut down in T-15 minutes. Doors slammed shut behind them, but one remained open. Chamber 03. Inside sat a girl, shoulders hunched, knees tucked to her chest. Wires ran from her temples to a console, blinking erratically. Maya stepped in slowly. "Juna?" The girl looked up, and for a second, just a second, Maya saw herself, 13, abandoned, afraid. "You came," Juna whispered. "I saw you in the dreams. You're the one who ran away." Leah moved to unplug the wires, but the console sparked. Juna winced. "They said if I left, everyone would die, that the nightmares would become real." "They lied," Maya said. "They did it to me too." Juna shook her head. "No, I am the nightmare." Maya knelt beside her. "You're a girl, not a monster." Juna's eyes flicked to the glass wall behind them, where another door was now open. Maya, Leah, and Juna rushed through. Inside, a massive room, screens on all sides, audio loops playing therapy sessions, images flashing of Maya's old life, of Jay, of every trauma. "They trained her on your memories," Leah gasped. "They fed her your pain to evolve her emotionally, so she'd never need to be taught how to survive. She absorbed it." Juna clutched her head. "It hurts." Suddenly, footsteps. Jay. He stepped from the shadows, blood dripping from a cut on his temple. "Thought you might come," he said. Maya drew the blade from her sleeve. "You said you were done running." "I am," he said. "This is where it ends." Jay's final confession. "I didn't create the Ark. I was a recruit, just like you. I carried out orders until I couldn't. Then I made one mistake. They let me fall in love with you. I tried to pull you out, but once you're part of the data stream, Maya, you never leave." He pulled out a device and tossed it at her feet. "A detonator. Blow it, wipe it all. You'll kill me, the data, the project, everything." "But she'll die too," Leah whispered, pointing to Juna. Jay nodded. "She's the last link, the only real evidence." Maya looked at Juna, shivering, scared, barely a teenager. "No," Maya said. "We're not becoming them." She turned to Leah. "Take her. Get out. I'll stay. I'll crash the server from inside." Last 5 minutes, Leah tried to protest, but Maya forced the door shut behind them, locking it with her code. "Go," she mouthed. Leah ran, and Maya turned to the console, typing fast. Overriding every lock, the entire facility began to shake. Lights burst, sirens screamed. Jay sat on the floor, bleeding. Maya turned to him. "Did you ever think we'd come this far?" Jay chuckled weakly. "No, but I always hoped you would." A final keystroke. System wipe initiated. 3 days later, news broke of a chemical fire at an abandoned Cold War bunker. No survivors listed. No names released. But in a remote forest town, a young woman and a teenage girl checked into a shelter. No IDs, no questions, just peace. Juna stared at the night sky, Leah beside her. "She's really gone, isn't she?" Leah nodded. "But because of her, you're free." Juna whispered, "I think I hear her sometimes." Leah smiled. She'd like that. They walked off down the frozen path. 2 survivors, 2 sisters, 2 beginnings. Snow had melted. Spring clung softly to the edge of the trees. Juna sat under the open sky, sketching with a charcoal pencil on worn paper. Every line looked like it ached to say something. Her drawings had changed. They weren't just dreams now. They were memories. Leah came out of the cabin with 2 mugs of tea. "Sleep okay?" she asked. Juna shrugged. "Sort of. I saw her again." Leah paused, then sat beside her. "Maya?" Juna nodded. She wasn't sad this time. She said, "Don't carry what I buried." Leah smiled faintly. "Sounds like her." They sipped tea in silence, but both felt it, that the story wasn't done. Not yet. News report. A shocking reveal on April 19th. A secret government project was exposed. A former intelligence whistleblower released classified audio and video from the now destroyed Ark shelter. The footage showed underage girls subjected to emotional manipulation, psychological isolation, and synthetic memory implantation. The lead scientist on the project, Dr. Arlo Meyer, formerly listed as deceased in a lab explosion 5 years ago, but that wasn't the twist. The anonymous whistleblower was alive, and she called herself only one name, M. Meyer had survived. She never died in the bunker. She'd faked the system crash, looped Jay's final confession, and rerouted the emergency blast to level 1, while she escaped through a subfloor duct, one she'd seen years ago and memorized from the inside. She'd walked 3 miles through snow and collapsed outside a hiker's lodge. When she woke, she had no ID, no history, just a USB drive hidden under her tongue and a single purpose: to end them. All of them. Weeks earlier, Ottawa, a private server, blinked to life. On it, 18 terabytes of raw data, every name, every test, Maya didn't go to the press. She sent it directly to 47 human rights organizations, then disappeared again. She never contacted Leah or Juna, not yet. Present-day Juna opened a letter that came without a stamp, just her name, scrawled in thick charcoal. Inside, a photo. Maya standing in front of a massive concrete wall with the words, "No more cages," spray-painted across it. On the back, "You're free now." That's all I ever wanted. Juna clutched the photo and whispered, "She's still watching." Leah's realization. Leah sat on the edge of her bed that night, watching Juna sleep. All this time, she'd played protector, teacher, even mother sometimes. But Maya hadn't just saved Juna, she'd saved Leah too, from a life of grief, survivor's guilt, and numb wandering. For the first time in years, Leah believed in something bigger than herself. A cause, a promise, and she knew what had to come next. Final journey. Back to where it all started. They took a train. No IDs, no questions, just one destination, the town where Maya grew up. It was quiet now, half the houses boarded up, but one remained, small, red brick ivy on the porch, Maya's childhood home. Inside, the air felt preserved, dustless, frozen in time. Juna found a tiny bookshelf. One book stood out, Little Women, Maya's favorite. Inside, in Maya's handwriting, "Home is not where you live, it's where someone waited for you." Juna cried quietly. Leah let her twist in the ashes. In the fireplace lay an envelope, sealed. Leah opened it carefully. Inside, a USB and a note. "If you're reading this, it means I let go of running. This is everything they don't want the world to know. This is how you finish what I started. Signed, Maya R. Leland." The USB contained access keys to cloud servers in multiple countries and a map of surviving ARC cells, locations, personnel, code names. But more chilling than the logistics was the list of still active subjects. Juna read the names, then stopped. Her hand trembled. Subject 09, Elia M. Current status mobile. Classification split response. Untracked notes. Last seen escaping facility in 2019. Juna whispered, "She's like me." Leah looked closer. "She might be worse." The decision. Juna stood slowly. "We have to find her." Leah hesitated. "You're still healing. You don't even know what she is." "I know exactly what she is," Juna said. "She's what I could have become if Maya hadn't saved me. But no one saved her." Leah clenched her jaw. "This isn't our war anymore." "Yes, it is," Juna said. "It always was. We just didn't know it." The screen fades to black. A new location is marked on the map. Nairobi. Kenya. The camera pans in on a street kid drawing strange symbols in the dirt. A woman watches from across the street, a flash of red hair, a scar on her right wrist. Maya, still moving, still watching, still protecting the next girl before it's too late. Sometimes horror doesn't end with a scream. It ends with a whisper, a promise, a girl who survived the system that built her to break and decided to tear it all down. You may never hear Maya's full story on the news, but the survivors she saved will carry it forever, and now so will you. The end.